Hello, welcome back to another showcase, special one. You see this red-orange aura on my assassin. I just completed my first ever Tier 2 Dclone, and this is on solo self-found with all gear that I've developed since Season 4. I've been doing this and finally got good enough gear to give it a shot. I had some experience with Tier 1 fights, specifically from Season 10 ladder. I ran Blade Sentinel to 99, so got a little bit of background with the fight. Tried Tier 2 a couple times on ladder this season, but the way I was set up really more for mapping, and I was trying to make suboptimal gear work for it. Didn't get done, but now it is done, and I want to show you the character. The build is Blade Sentinel, um, and pretty straightforward setup. Max Blade Sentinel, Max Blade Fury, Max Blade Shield, Shadow Disciplines, Max Claw and Dagger Mastery. I maxed Fade, put 1 point into Venom, and then the rest of points into Weapon Block was the setup I used. Um, the stats are enough strength for gear. For me, it was 174 for Crown of Ages, the Corona helmet. Dex for gear, 115 for one of the claws that I had, and then everything else into Vitality. See, right now it looks like the resistances are obviously very low, but we're using Fade for the fight, so um, it balanced out. The gear is, we'll look at the inventory first. Max damage, life, Grand Charm, a +2 skills, Annihilus, um, trap skills, 17 life, 14 life, 23, 34, 15, and then so 5 lifers. 6 strength is the equivalent of an 18 lifer on an assassin. A 3 dex is the equivalent of a 9 lifer, just with the stat points, and then one with 3 to max damage, one with 2 to max damage. So technically all have useful second mods, but far from perfect because it is self-found. The torch is really good, 59 and 19. And then the rest of the charms, resistances, life, and all res with faster run walk. This is my best charm, all res 19 life, 4 all res 18 life, and then attack rating and life on the others. The claws, we've got, I guess first on the swap, we've got a Cult Arms and a Lidless. The claw first is a 3 low Stalker's Cull for max deadly strike. 75 is the cap. The other claw is a Plague for basically +5 to Blade Sentinel is the goal. Crafted could be +6 or even +7 with a perfect slam. But I'm thinking if I want to try any higher tier Rothmas as well at some point, then the cleansing aura will be useful as well. The helmet is 3 jaws and a crown of ages. This one's slammed for attack rating, which is really nice. The gloves are ghoulhide that slam for attack rating. The I watched some other guides this season. I previously used laying of hands for Dclone, thinking because Dclone's a demon, that makes more sense, but it's actually the skeletons in the higher tiers that are particularly tanky. So the damage to undead, attack rating against undead, and then also nice little benefit is has plus life too. The boots are water walks with a cold res max slam, so max fire, max cold, a lot of life, dexterity, great option. The armor is a shaft stop. This one slammed for maximum cold res, and then puzzled for 2 through vexes in there for more fire resistance max. A +1 Mara, a dwarf star, just fire resistance on this one. Oddly enough, the way everything played out, I needed a little bit more fire resistance. I actually have a PDR percent slammed one that also has 47 life and 6 fire absorb. But this made more sense for this build because I'm already at max PDR percent anyway. Um, I recently found this for Dungo, max PDR at 15 and slammed for 2 max all res. This was the kind of final piece that I felt like I needed to really be able to give it a shot with my self-found gear. And then last but not least is the only real legacy item of note here is a Nature's Peace. Um, Big difference with this old one. Well, two big differences with this old one. The first is you obviously probably saw the cannot be frozen slam. Having that here on a ring slot that isn't Ravenfrost is unusual nowadays, but this is from before when it could be done. Um, I'm fine with it. I'm gonna use the legacy gear anywhere anyway. Somebody could argue it's cheating, unfair, non-ladder status, whatever. That's fine, but I'm using it. I guess I suppose you could counterpoint would be no Lucian yet on single player, so the amulet is not desecrated and theoretically could have CBF on it. But the other noteworthy thing is it's +5 to Oak Sage skill instead of level 5 Oak Sage charges. So it's not just a level 5 Oak Sage that's getting cast. You get the +1 from casting Battle Command. You get the +2 skills from the Plague. You get the +3 skills from the Mara. So, and then the +2 from the Annie. It ends up being a much higher level Oak Sage for more life. So that's the part that makes it maybe a little bit less fair by ladder comparisons. But um, all in when she's buffed. So cast Battle Command, Battle Orders, Fade, Venom, and then just to show you, it's a level 13 Oak Sage. So big difference from level 5. That max life 204 instead of I want to say it's like 90, 80 or 90 something. Max life from charges on ring, so it does make a difference. And the total ends up being 29, 20 life, which you'll see as we go through the recording. I needed every one of those hit points. Towards the end of the fight, I get down to very, very close to death situation. So we'll play the recording now, and I'll try to mostly keep my mouth shut, but talk a little bit through the fight as it's going. So let's switch over here. And we're going in. Tier 2. Do not have a ton of experience with the Tier 2 fight, but getting to the first skeleton phase with only 2 potions consumed felt like a pretty good start. So already heart rate was going up, thinking maybe there's a chance here if we can avoid major mistakes. The skeletons going down relatively smoothly. The ghoul hide does make a huge, huge difference. Can't recommend those gloves enough. Down to 832 there. Not exactly a close call, but not comfortable either. fairly smooth transition, able to restock the belt. Standing in the fire is never good, but all things considered, it was a reasonable first wave Nova and decent damage on the clone. Yeah, just kind of some dumb movement there. I should have anticipated that the skeletons were about to spawn and not been so centrally located, but got away with it. Down to a little, just over 1,000 life there. Starting to get a little stressed out at this point, wondering if I'm drinking the potions too liberally, that running out might be a possibility. But you'll never know if you don't stay along live enough to run, or stay alive long enough to run out of them. A little reckless positioning and movement there, but it's tough when the archers are all bundled together like that centrally. You gotta just take a little bit of damage, I guess. There's probably a smarter way when I get more experience. A little restock and a little bit more damage before the next Nova wave here. Down to, I didn't quite catch the amount there, but pretty low, and then pretty low again right after that. Meteors are becoming more challenging to avoid. Here we are to the next Nova wave, and got a break on not having any bone spirits coming in, able to restock the belt and recast the buffs. That was huge and pretty much saved to keep the run alive. I should note, I mean, I am doing this single player and pluggy, but I'm not practicing the fight with unlimited visions. Everything I'm using is self farm. This actually is literally my first attempt for tier two. The last skeleton phase, quite stressful. Weapon block is picking up some of the arrows, which is nice. In hindsight, there probably would have been enough time to drop the cube during the last Nova phase, and I didn't do it, but did it there without dying at least. So now whatever we've got left in the inventory is what's left. Got a little lucky there with Diablo's positioning, that the pillar blocked that lightning hose attack. And now I'm starting to wonder if maybe it's possible. Still a couple of archers to get through, and need to not get hit by meteors. So down to the final 16 potions now. 1 in the inventory, 15 in the belt. Skeletons are gone. We've got one more Nova to live through. And then Diablo's last round of attacks fell below 800 again there twice. Last wave is coming. Tried to let that bone spear hit to not be standing in the fire, but there was no way to avoid it. That cost 3 or 4 potions, but made it through. And now final 9 potions. Trying not to panic drink, but need to be really careful not to get hit by something. 5 left. Down really low there. 3 potions remaining. 2 potions remaining. Down to 760. Drank a potion right before that fire hit. No potions left. And got him. Down, got him. Down to 9 life was the lowest I saw on there. Um, Absolutely insane. I want to go back to the, the open file now, just because I'm realizing I forgot to do this, but I'll buff one more time and just show um, advanced stats. So that was with max physical damage reduction. Actually ended up overcapped by quite a bit. 90 fire res, 87 cold res, the 20 IAS breakpoint for 10 frame trap laying. Um, Getting 8 more hit recovery would have been wise, but I did not do that. I was just trying to prioritize hit points. But this got the job done, and now I have my first aura on single player. Thanks for watching.